Hello, everyone, and welcome to All on the Mat. And I apologize as of late. I have not been able to post nearly as often as I would like. But anyway, on with this video. This is my top 10 favorite wrestlers. This has nothing to do with achievements or status, anything of that nature. These are my personal favorite wrestlers to watch wrestle and to do interviews. All of those things combined, and of course, we are beginning with the British Bulldog, one of the most recognizable faces and physiques, of course. Got the arm on that man. What a fantastic physique. Of course, he had a very famous matchup with Bret the Hitman Hart at the 1992 SummerSlam, where he did win the Intercontinental Championship from Bret Hart. But anyway, eventually he turned heel. And he wrestled for years as a heel in the mid to late 90s. And that's when I really liked him. He played dirty tricks, things like that. And I love heels, and you will probably notice a trend in this video. And this is the second guy on my list, and I will take this time to mention that there is no particular order of these guys. British Bulldog, he's probably close to being my favorite, as is Bam Bigelow. And their physique's totally different. Of course, I just like exciting wrestlers. And there is also another trend. Every one of these wrestlers, to my knowledge, were fantastic in the ring. I mean, my goodness, Bam Bigelow, for a 400-pound man, he could do backflips. Awesome. The highlight of his career happened in 1995, WrestleMania 11. He wrestled a football player, Lawrence Taylor, and this was Lawrence Taylor's only match ever. But I know what you're thinking. This is probably not a good thing for Bam Bigelow, a dubious distinction. But speaking as an actual wrestler, I wrestled, in case you didn't know, this is a great thing for Bam Bigelow. This is the only way he was going to main event a WrestleMania, for sure. It was never going to happen, guys. And he got to wrestle the very last match at a WrestleMania. But more than that, ching, payday. This was absolutely, I don't even know the status or the statistics of this. This was absolutely Bam Bigelow's highest payday, for sure. And he did lose, but hey, what the heck. Anyway, love Bam. And I also love this guy here, for sure. Owen Hart, one of the best technical wrestlers, one of the best guys on the mic, just acting abilities in the ring, unbelievable. And of course, he had the history, the past, the pedigree. He was awesome. He had like I said, the past. He wrestled his father, Stu Hart, the late great Stu Hart. Of course, Owen Hart is late and great as well. In my opinion, guys like Shawn Michaels, in particular, Shawn Michaels, really held guys back, such as Owen Hart and even Bam Bigelow, to tell you the truth. Maybe even the British Bulldog. Who knows? And Shawn Michaels, you will not see him on this list. My opinion, he was a real dink. This is Eddie Guerrero. Absolutely, he belongs on this list. Truly one of my personal favorites. It really hurt me personally when guys like him and Owen Hart passed away so prematurely. But anyway, we do not want to dwell on the past unless it is to go back and watch some of his WCW matches, and that is when I became a huge fan of his. And I actually personally began to wrestle in around 2001. And he was a huge inspiration to me. I even started to use the frog splash, and that was my move through my whole career. Anyway, Eddie Guerrero, truly one of my absolute favorites. Let's switch gears now and look at Andre the Giant. He was absolutely one of my personal favorites to watch, so entertaining. And very underrated, guys. If you actually watch some of his older matches, when he had the really long hair, he made very few, if any, mistakes. He always made sense in his matches, had a good ending, things like that. You could plainly see here he was picking on Hulk Hogan, and I like those days. Didn't really enjoy watching the Andre the Giant when he had the black singlet. He was well past his prime. But at least once a year, I will put on all the old Andre the Giant matches, and I will sit for a couple of days and just watch. Haku. This man had it all. He could move in that ring like a big giant cat. He could do thrust kicks to the face like Shawn Michaels. He could soar through the air and do frog splashes like Eddie Guerrero. It was just incredible. And coincidentally, if you ever messed with Haku in real life, it would probably be the last time you ever messed with anybody. He was known for being a super tough man, a legit tough man. I would not want to mess around with this grizzly bear at all. And food for thought here, I believe Haku is the first living man on this list, if I'm not mistaken. Here is Ted Dibiase, the $1 Million Man. And I'm sure by now you guys have noticed a trend. Pretty much every one of these guys were a heel. If not, most of the time they were a heel. In the case of Andre the Giant, he was a face earlier on in his career. But Ted DiBiase, when I was a kid, I hated him so much. I was scared of him. He was a big bully. But as I grew and actually started wrestling myself, I realized that this man was unbelievable in the ring, a psychologist. He made me hate him. And it wasn't like guys like Jeff Jarrett that I just can't stand watching. And that's when I tell people I don't like him, they say, oh, he's doing his job then. No, he's not. I turn the TV off. Ted DiBiase, I loved watching his matches. And I actually got to wrestle on the same card as this man. It was a dream come true. I didn't actually get to wrestle with him. But to be in the same dressing room, in the same locker room, and the roster, and even the same poster, it was a surreal feeling, and he was awesome to meet. Very respectful guy, for sure. Ravishing Rick Rude. From a very young age, I was just attracted to the heels more, and it was strange. I was the black sheep, I guess, cheering for the heels. But Ravishing Rick Rude, how could you not cheer this man with a physique like this and wrestling ability to boot? And they're absolutely the only guy ever to defeat the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship. How did he manage to slip that one past the greedy Ultimate Warrior? I'm surprised he was willing to lay down for that one. But anyway, on with this list. Bret the Hitman Hart. Fellow Canadian, him and Owen Hart, of course. All us Canadians, we all love the Hart brothers, eh? But either way, Bret was around since day one, and for him to climb the ladder, slowly but so surely, he took the title in 1992 from Ric Flair. What an absolute dream come true for not only Bret, but his fans. Nobody looked quite so good holding that championship title up in the air. Bret with that pink, just fantastic. He was definitely a piece in history and time. The Hitman. He was the best there was, best there is, best there ever could be, really. Unless you think about this man. And he is my favorite wrestler of all time. One of the first wrestlers I remember, probably the first wrestler that I've ever seen on TV that I remember. Him and Elizabeth. Ooh, yeah. Macho Man. And the interviews. I don't care if they didn't make sense. Who cares? It's wrestling. They don't have to make sense. You don't have to talk like King Harley Race, with all due respect, King Harley Race. But they say he had the best interviews because he talked for 25 minutes. Macho Man, he would give you chills. He would make you scared of him. And yes, I was the only kid cheering for Macho Man in the Hulk Hogan versus Macho Man feud. Their matches, I was so upset. when they would continuously give the victory to Hulk Hogan. Very disappointing. Macho Man, Randy Savage. Eventually, Vince McMahon saw fit to put him out to pasture, so to speak. Gave him a geeky gimmick, I guess you could say. I guess Macho Man can't really be a geek, but I think that was Vince McMahon's intention, to ruin his career. And Macho Man was definitely not ready for that. And he proved that when he finished off his career, his wrestling career that is, in WCW. Put on some amazing matches that, well, Vince, you missed out on perhaps a Bret the Hitman Hart versus Macho Man feud. Anyway, guys, I figured I would keep in touch with you guys and make a quick video, and look forward to more videos in the future. When I have more time, I definitely will be looking forward to posting every day. Hope you enjoyed this one. Hit thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to the channel. Have a great day.